All right, friends, welcome back to PrepperNow. We're going to do our nightly here. We're going to be talking about, everybody's going to be talking about the Tux and Carlter Vinter and you know what? We're not going to do that. I might reference it. We're going to talk about Joe. I'll talk about Joe. I want to talk about this thing that came out today about him and other things. We're going to go all over. That's what we do here. Just 30-minute live stream about all the stuff and, talk about it. See what's going on. See if we can't get some people interested in, you know, what really should be talked about. Because, of course, everybody will talk about the Tucker, and that's all important. But there's actually always a lot more going on than just that. So we're not going to waste any time. Yeah. So if people want to talk, everybody else will be talking about Tucker. I don't want to talk about Tucker. You want to know what I'm talking about? I want to talk about this Biden case. Okay, he had no charges. He willfully mishandled stuff, and all this is there's national security risks and all that. But the thing that got him off the hook was the fact that he was quote too old and feeble. Okay, now why is this an important story? Because this is going to be the case to replace him down the road. So how's it going to play out, Prepper? Now let me put on the Swami hat. Okay, friends. What is going to happen is in about August, right around the time they've got their convention, wherever the heck that is, he's going to step down, or he'll have some medical something, or something will make it so he can't complete it. Right before they've got just enough time to switch out the ballots and do everything and make sure the weeks and weeks and months of online voting is or mail-in voting is done and proper, and everybody's got their ballots and it's all on the up and up, and they can put the replacement person. Now, who the replacement person is, I don't know. So I actually have an idea. It's not what people think. Everybody's looking at Michelle Obama, Michelle Obama, Michelle Obama, Michelle Obama. Now, Michelle could win. She could. You know who I think it's going to be? I think it's going to be Hillary Clinton. Yeah, I do. She's got the war machine. She definitely has the desire to be the El Presidente. So I think what's going to happen is all this is going to get rolling, and good old JoJo is going to step down, and they're just going to have a solid choice because the show must go on. 2024. And Hillary Clinton will step in to be that nominee because she's already got the nominee, right? So, and then from there, the fun will ensue. Yeah. From there, what's going to happen is 2024 is going to be decided not in the ballot box. It's not going to be anything violent or anything like that. No, it's going to be Norm Eisen and his band of Democratic lawyers, and they're going to come in and they're going to make sure that everything is litigated for months and years and decades, and that is what's going to happen. And then eventually, and I've got other things. Everybody's talking about Tucker. The thing is going to be, oh well, there was a collusion and manipulation and everything else, and because of that, we didn't have an honest election, and they're going to need to redo things. They're going to need to make sure that everything is on the up and up, so it'll be litigated. And if there's one thing Democrats have, it's a friggin' fleet of lawyers, right? You're right. They can't run Big Mike. No, it's going to be Hillary Clinton. That's what I think. I could be wrong. But she sure has been getting in front of that microphone a lot lately. Actually, yeah, Bad Wolf. That was one of the main things that I was worried about with her is that she was going to become nuclear and get us into the third World War with Mr. Putin. There was a guy. His name begins with the last name is Z. I want to say Zeiss, Eric Zeus or something like that. He had a great article about it. He used to be a big lefty, and then he kind of changed over, and so started to write and started to actually care about things. Kind of did the Bill Maher thing, and he wrote this article about how she was going to get us into World War III. So, but yeah, that was about 8 years ago, and very interesting. So yeah, so I want to talk about this too old and feeble charge of Mr. Joe. Okay, and the reason why is because I think it's the more important, the more important thing. I think the basically it's interesting that Joe is too old and feeble. YouTube, can you send out some notifications, dude? Okay, I normally get 200 people on my streams. I only got 45. Can you manipulate a little bit harder, for the love of God? Jesus, pardon my French. Sorry, it's ridiculous. Had the audacity to try to put out another one, and then that got all chicanery. So I took it down, and now they're effing with me. Is there someone else? Oh, no wonder. Joe is addressing the nation. Okay, well, great. Let's talk about why he's yeah. Um, let's talk about that. Now I see what's going on. Latest evidence of two-tier justice system. Democrats apparently are above the law when it comes to report the released on Thursday afternoon. Special counsel investigating President Biden's mismanagement of classified documents, which decided against charging the president. Of course, they didn't charge the president. Why would they charge him? Our investigation uncovered evidence that President Biden willfully retained and disclosed classified materials after his vice presidency when he was a private citizen. So, of course, this was stacked up against the Trump one where they went after him and are probably still going after him. And then, of course, you had Pence. Every president does this. But the interesting thing is that what got him off is that it said that Joe is too cognitively impaired to be charged with a crime, but he's not too cognitively impaired to be the commander in chief. So marinate in that one for a moment. He can't. He's so out of it. He can't do any. He's not doing anything evil. He's not doing wrong things, but he can still run the country. So says quote, we conclude that no criminal charges are warranted at this matter. We reached the same conclusion even if the Department of Justice policy did not foreclose criminal charges against a sitting president. So Robert Hur has released and said Biden was willfully retained marked and unmarked classified documents at his home, and this risked serious damage to America's national security. So Tucker Carlson, of course, talking to Putin. Well, gosh, that's national security. But Joe and he can have any kind of documents he wants. Trump, well, no, can't do that. Trump's got to go in front of the lawyers and all that. It really is breathtaking to see what kind of a turn our country has done with this justice system. Sincerely. So, what I think is this: I think that I think they're going to basically set up Joe for the fall here in August, and then they're going to go with whatchamacallit, Hillary Clinton. So now, why is it that people are going to vote um, Democrat again? It's because, well, they're doing wonderful things. Okay, so let's take you through it. Let's. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start with the fuel prices going up, which will eventually screw us all over with our costs and everything? You want to go into the education system? Let's go to the education system. Okay, so average test scores for the United States 13-year-old have dipped in reading and dropped sharply in math since 2020. Why? Rona, of course. More things. According to a new data from the National Assessment of Educational Progress, average scores from tests given last fall declined 4 points in reading, 9 points in math, compared with tests given in the 2019-2000 school year, and are the lowest in decades. The declines in reading were more pronounced for lower performing students, but dropped across all percentiles, according to National Public Radio. In Maryland and Illinois, you might know these states, they are super Democrat states. Not that it matters, it's crappy everywhere. Two states controlled by, the left. Evidence is mounting that progressives are failing to educate the youth. Why is it? Well, that's because the only thing they care about is putting flags up in rooms and making sure you know all the different, you know, things about sex, whatever it may be. Sex is the most important thing. Independent research from WirePoints found that shockingly, 53 schools in Illinois had zero students proficient in math at grade levels. Zero students. What are they doing there? State spends 40.6 billion on K-12 education for $21,750 per student, some of the highest in the nation. And not a single student can do math at grade level in 53 Illinois schools. Not a single student can read at grade level in 30 Illinois schools. But yeah, they can name all the different rainbow genders. 23 Baltimore schools have zero students that are proficient in math. During the most recent Maryland state testing, includes 10 high schools. So, like, what is our focus as a nation? Oh, that's right. It's old Joe and the wonderful leadership they're doing. It's Tucker Carlson and the fact that he's going to collusionify everything, and the 2024 election is going to be decided in the courts. You heard that here. So 23 Baltimore schools have zero students proficient in math. Baltimore County School spends $14,883 per student each year. Revenue of 1.891 billion, yet kids can't do math. So, that right there means everybody's going to vote for Hillary Clinton, right? Plus, they're above the law. Don't forget that. Let's see what else. Let's talk about prices. Yeah, diesel prices are going to go up because they're awesome. So diesel and other distilled fuels are the workhorse of the industrial economy. Most sensitive fuels in the condition of the business cycle. Yep, that's right. Trucks use diesel. You might know this. Well, manufacturers in the United States are poised to return to growth after some prolonged, uh, you know, sitting around on 22-23. And global distillate inventories are likely to remain below average, which could easily tighten further, meaning that prices are going to go up. So right now, our current local gas is about 325. What's yours? Put it in the comments. 325. That's up from about 295 about 2 weeks ago. So this is still fuel oil stocks amounted to 114 barrels at the end of November 2023. lowest for the time of year since 1951, according to data from the U.S. Energy Information Administration. U.S. distillate inventories were 22 million barrels, or negative 16%, or 1.42 standard deviations below prior 10-year seasonal average. So basically, what does this all mean? It means that our diesel is going to go up. And what does that mean? Well, that means your food at the store is going to go up too. But again, the magic Democrats are going to win, probably through a legal process. And then you take on the fact that the Red Sea is basically closed for business at this point, and rerouting these tankers from the east to the west, to be China to America and other places around the Horn of Africa, or around the African southern point. Is tying up even more millions of diesel barrels and gasoline. That's going to put extra pressure on inventory. So we're looking at higher prices there. That's going to win votes. I know I like to vote for the party in charge that is making it so every time I go to work and back, it's much more expensive. So what else? What else? What else did the Magic Democrats do? Let's check it out. Oh yeah, they just sent a crap load of money. They voted to send a crap load of money to I don't know what country's selling it now for war. Do we know? Does it even matter? So what is wrong with the U.S. elections? Well, lots. Zuck bucks, perpetual voting. Can't beat that. So this is going to help. All that. Remember, Magic Democrats. So let's see. Who do we send money to today? Was it Ukraine or Israel? I can't remember. Both. By the way, Joe can't even remember who's in charge and who died. Francois Mitterrand died in 1996, and Schultz died in 2017. So hopefully he'll do the hat trick and mention Margaret Thatcher or something like that. So just circling the drain, folks. There we go. Senate just voted 67-32 in favor of advancing a $95 billion foreign aid bill for Ukraine, Israel, Gaza, and Taiwan. But no, they didn't talk about the border. So cool. So we're good there, folks. Another $95 billion that's going to go and help our friends across the globe protect themselves. Meanwhile, we're wide open, and come on in and get set up. Get the voter package waiting for you. We'll ship you wherever you need to go. You come through Texas, Arizona, or New Mexico, and then from there we'll put you onto a bus and we'll put you in a lovely community where you can, snag the local pets, roast them on an open pit on the sidewalk, and do whatever the heck you want to do because you're the most important person in the world. At least that's what Murphy of Connecticut said. I'm pretty sure he said we're basically here for the new Americans. So yeah, we're doing great, folks. What else? Oh, by the way, Peter Navarro, yeah, he did some terrible things. Judge says he can't be allowed out on bail. He's got to service full time. Guy's like what, 78? Looks like he's in pretty good shape, but still. Judge Amit Mehta of the U.S. District Court for Washington D.C. ruled that there is no substantial question of law for which Mr. Navarro warrants remaining out of prison. So he rejected him being left. He said, after over a year of litigation, defendant still has not offered what he thinks is required for a proper invocation of executive privilege. So, in addition to all this, Navarro's arguments about executive privilege, Judge M.Ed also rejected the argument made by Navarro's team during sentencing that the prosecution for contempt of Congress was motivated by a political bias. Because we know we never have anything in our judicial system that is done by political, force or anything else. Everything is all on the up and up. Nothing is political in America. Just ask the guys in the J6, right? So let's see, where's old Judge M.Ed from? Okay, got District of Judge, United States District Court for District of Columbia, 2014 to 2021. Became a judge on the United States Foreign Intelligence. He's a FISA court judge. Cool. He was appointed by Barack Obama. Imagine that. So, good. Not political, though. Okay? It is not political. So, that's the good news. So, let's go back to Joe. Joe is anointed. Joe cannot do any wrong. And, Joe he's it's like your granddad. Your granddad is an old dude, and you love him, but he just accidentally jumped into the wrong car across the street and drove it into a telephone pole. Because he's feeble and old and he's senile. So because of that, we can't press charges. He's just so cute. We took him out and we got him some milk and cookies instead. So yeah, it's a crime spree pass. Whatever you want to do. Are you a Democrat? You're free. You're the best. You're awesome. Are you not a Democrat? Well, I got bad news for you. Sorry. Like, what do you think would happen? Well, actually, I don't even know where the Trump case is. I'm going to say it seems like this is something that all of the presidents do. They take these folders and files home and whatever they want to do with them. I don't know. They probably just get mixed up in places because, think of your desk at work or at home or wherever. I'm sure you've got files all over the place. So, well, let's see. Is Joe talking right now? Is he still talking? What's he talking about? Can he talk? He can't do any wrong. And so, because he can't do any wrong, clearly the best thing to do is have him come out and have a little chit chat. Oh, well, that's not working either. Oh, of course. Nothing works. Oh, well, we don't need to know it. Yeah. This is America 2024, folks. Magic Democrats. Trying to find this Biden speech. It's funny. Just put in the word Biden into the thing, and it will just see what the first couple things come up as. So, 58 minutes ago. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know what he had to say, but it doesn't matter. More lies? Yeah, that's probably about covers it. Folks, what are we going to do with all this? I know people are like hoping that Trump will come in and clean house, but I honestly think that's going to set its own set of problems off. I just don't see any scenario where things get better. I don't see any scenario where some political savior comes in and helps us. I don't see any scenario where uh, it the works don't get gummed up by all of this crap and it just goes south. And the problem with all this is that nobody feels like there's a political voice anymore. Nobody feels like there's any ability to change anything. There's no pathway forward. And that I think is the most dangerous thing. I mean, you can sit here and say, okay, it's a two-tiered justice system. All right, I think we've all made that case. But yeah, it's a two-tiered justice system. But there's no way to like solve it. There's no way to get it back onto the where it should be, which is, of course, it's not a two-tiered justice system, but it's a system of justice that is equal. Not equity, but equal. Like everybody, if Jeff Bezos and I get into a DUI, he's driving in Washington, I'm driving here in Maryland, and we're both drunk. We blow a point one or whatever, and we get in trouble. It should be that he faces the same kind of punishment as I do. It doesn't work that way. So when that happens, people lose faith in the system, and that's the biggest problem. Is that people are losing faith in the system. I know I have, and I teach this for a living. The system is I was proud to be a government teacher. You go through the branches of government and the checks and balances and how no, there's never anything terrible that could happen because the way we set it up. And then the last 4 years, everything has just gone haywire. Everything has gone in ways that I would never ever have thought. Now, there's a great article by Molly Hemingway on the Federalist about all the issues going on with our voting system. I will let you read that. I will not redress them here because that's the way you get into the thick of things, if you know what I mean. So, but like, I mean, we really don't have a recourse anymore. And the I guess the biggest and most scariest thing about this is that the people that are in power, the more and more people try to extract that and put it into a normal place, like back to normal. The harder they're going to tie, hold on and tighten their grip. The more they're going to try and make it so you can't change it back. And I guess that's the problem. At that point, they're going to be doing things that we can't even imagine at this point. I mean, it'd be crazy to think that there isn't just an invisible group in the background doing everything it can to make sure that everything in our world is tailored to certain things. And I'll just leave it at that. So I don't know what to say, folks. You read about Joe and they're like, yeah, he got off because he was senile. Literally innocent from senility. And then you see Peter Navarro and I mean, how can you not see like the double standard? How can you not see, things going in such a way that it frustrates people? If Peter Navarro did something bad, Peter Navarro needs to have things happen. Joe's the president. Okay, he was the vice president when this whole files thing went down. Something should happen for that. Pay a fine, whatever. But then they go hard on everybody else. I can assure you the people in the whole J6 thing, there are numerous people that probably did worse, and they're not sitting rotting away. There's in a jail for the rest of their life. I mean, aren't there like still some of haven't even had like a trial yet? Yeah, rules for thee, but not for thee. Rules for thee, but not for me. That's the biggest problem. And then, I mean, you want to do things to change the system. You want to make it like, okay, this is a problem. This is unfair. I want this to be fair. I want to do things to help, but they won't allow it. What do you think people will do? Oh, will. That's the problem. I've talked to my dad about this. I see, and I don't want this, but I see like Northern Ireland kind of stuff eventually starting to happen, where people feel like, I mean, we had the one guy that some supposedly some militia guy, a sniper that was caught down on the southern border in the Texas thing, like yesterday, 2 days ago. So let me look that one up. Sniper, Texas border. Yeah, there we go. FBI arrests Tennessee man who planned sniper attack on Texas Mexico border. So, what was he doing down there? Well, he's probably feels like he doesn't have a voice anymore. Disenfranchised. That's a problem. I mean, and the thing is that it's going to beget itself. Like violence begets violence, and more people will think that that's the only way to do it. Or there'll be people like me where I'm like, all right, well, this place is an issue. I'm moving to wherever, and go to Chile or whatever. I don't know. That's the other thing. Then you're like, no, you can't do that. I remember when Rona was going on, thinking about all the craziness, like going, man, maybe I should move to Belize or something. Can't do that. Can we trust their town? The truth of the problem. Anyway, yeah. I mean, I just we're being pushed into an area of where uh, strange and nasty things are going to happen. Angry Prepper was talking earlier about these guys on scooters that roll around and basically jack people up in New York City now. Like that's going to become the norm. That's the other thing. You worry about people trying to take business into their own hands with the police and all that not as able to protect you. People are they're gonna try and protect themselves. So yeah, I think it's time to put the lights out. Clearly, try not to put a video up against Joe Todd. Was he supposed to jibber jabber tonight? Like, was this planned, or he just like wandered out of his bedroom and started screaming from the windows? Because I don't know. Yeah. Oh, wait for gas tank thieves to come in. That's absolutely correct. That's coming. Especially the diesel thing going, and the because diesel goes up, gas goes up, everything goes up. Yeah, that's a real 1970s thing. Taking out the taking out the gas, baby. Just siphon it off. Yeah. All right. I think we're gonna call it that one. Yeah. Yeah, I guess the president was here and he was like talking tonight. That's why I don't know. Maybe people just, not into it now. Maybe it's busy. Maybe is there football on, whatever. Anyway, well, we're gonna come back with another. Maybe it's my thing. I don't know. I don't know what's real or unreal on this platform anymore. Anyway, um, so we're gonna wrap it up there. All I can say is this, friends, is that we're in a two-tiered society. You've got the preferred class and the not so preferred class, and everything they're doing, they're just trying to make it as conflict based as possible, and eventually that will happen. And when that happens, well, Katie bar the door. We're going to have a lot of issues. We're going to be, I don't know. I don't know how much longer all this can sustain itself, to be honest with you. So, yep. Snowpiercer. Yeah, there you go. All right, friends. I appreciate you. We'll come back. We'll do something else tomorrow. I'll put some nebulous, do this one thing now, or something like that, that'll really get the folks out to chit chat. And I'll try not to go up against Joe Biden rambling on the mic. But the good news is, folks, as we learned tonight, senility is a way to get out of trouble. Okay? So as I just cross over the 50-year-old mark, I am going to start to use that because I am getting senile. You guys have heard my very end of my crisis report where I'm tired. That's right, baby. That's senility. We're gonna get real senile, and we're gonna do whatever we can to the. No, I'll stop. I'm not gonna do anything wrong. I don't do bad things. I'm not a violent person. Neither are you. We just want our country to be back to what it was. That's all I want. I want my kids to have a normal existence. That's it. Not worried about not passing math and getting, sexuality chucked up into their face at the age of 9. That's it. All right. God bless. Yeah, there's been a ton of information. Absolutely, Watchman. I think you're right. I think I'm just overwhelmed. All right. I will see you all later on tonight in the crisis report. God bless. Stack, stock, stick to the plan. Keep it on the swim when you pat it dry. Appreciate you coming by. PrepperNow, whatever the heck this thing was.